What is going on, guys? Spazmattic here, back inside Destiny, and today I'm going to bring you guys my setup or build slash review of the Defender Titan for PvP and PvE inside of Destiny. As you guys may know, I've done all the other subclasses inside of the game. The Defender is the last one I'll go over. And as always, whenever I do these reviews, these are all of my opinion. You guys I'm not forcing you guys to run this build or anything. I just think it's probably the best thing to run, best build to run inside of PvP and PvE. So for the Defender Titan, this is my Titan right now, I'm going to be going over the PvP build. And for PvP, there's like kind of two builds for it because you can run Armor of Light or Weapons of Light. Blessing is alright, but for PvP, you kind of like want to sit in your bubble, or sit in your bubble, get the Weapons of Light, and shoot enemies and like one-shot them with snipers or something like that. But for PvP, I like to run Magnetic Grenade because it's like a sticky grenade and explodes twice, so it basically gets you a free kill if you stick the person. I've never really used Spike Grenade, but I know a lot of people use Suppressor Grenades. If they pop a bubble and they see like a super in front of them, they throw like a Suppressor Grenade at a Sunsinger or a Blade Dancer, like a Stormcaller or something like that, to get them out of the super, because I know a lot of people do hate that whenever that happens, especially me, because I hate getting suppressed out of a super. It's like, what's the point, you know? So, Suppressor Grenade or Magnetic, I know Suppressor is mainly for taking out supers. So Magnetic is basically going for the kill if you're just camping inside your bubble. For the jump, as always, for lift, I always like to run increased control. Because of the Titan Skate, you're able to go to places faster. It's like the fastest movement for the Titan. It's really, really fast if you know how to use it. Just spam your jump button and you'll get to places a lot quicker. For the bubble, Ward of Dawn, I like to run Weapons of Light or Armor of Light inside of PvP. Like I said, if you want to sit in your bubble with the Mobius shotgun, the Titan specific shotgun you get from rank 2 with the gunsmith. For doing that quest line, you get the Mobius, which whenever you get a kill with that shotgun inside an Armor of Light bubble, you get, it doesn't expend ammo, and all your shots never count. So that's pretty cool. For weapons, of course, if you want to pop weapons, it's better for the team because if they get into the bubble, they get Weapons of Light buff for a little bit, and they can do extra damage with all their weapons. So that's pretty good as well. Onto the melee, I like to run Unbreakable. Force Barrier continually recharges. I've never really used Gift of Light or War Machine, but I'm sure they are pretty decent as well. I've always ran Unbreakable on the Defender, but with the Titan melees really not being that good at all, I don't really think it matters on which melee you run. For the Titan Codexes, I like to run Max Armor as always on all my characters, especially Defender Titan. You probably want to run Max Armor, mid recovery, and low agility. With low agility, it doesn't really affect your increased control that much, but with this, it kind of helps you out with faster agility because this does move you pretty fast. So this is probably the best thing to run: Titan Codex 1 and Titan Codex 4. For the middle column here, you like to run Gift of the Void, Relentless, or Bastion. For PvP, I'd probably run Gift of the Void. I know Bastion increases the duration, but I'd say this is more for PvE than PvP. But Relentless is pretty good. It increases the strength and duration of Force Barrier, which I think is what is Force Barrier? I think that's the melee, or like the shield you get whenever you get a melee kill. So that's pretty good. But Gift of the Void's pretty good if you pop it in the middle of like some battlefield, like a lot of people firing at you in the middle of the map. You could pop this, get some orbs when people shoot at your bubble, and create supers. Help your teammates get supers faster inside of a PvP match. So that's pretty decent to run for PvP. Probably run a Gift of the Void out of these three. For the last column here, Untouchable, Iron Harvest, and Illuminated. If you're running Weapons of Light in PvP, I'd probably run Illuminated. If you're running Armor of Light in your bubble, I'd probably run Iron Harvest because whenever heavy ammo comes, you get a chance to create Orbs of Light for your allies. Untouchable is pretty good. I'd say this is more for PvE as well. So to go over the PvE role, this is probably what I'd run for PvP, just so you guys know. And for PvE now, I'd probably run Magnetic Grenade, stick with that. Increased control probably stays the same. And for PvE, this totally depends on the situation you are in. Of course, if you're doing the raid, Kingsfall raid, you'd probably want to run Weapons of Light, and maybe another person running Blessings of Light for the War Priest. If you're running Golgoth, probably Weapons of Light as well. Depends on what type of thing you're doing. If you're doing a strike, some people might like to run Blessings of Light to get an extra shield whenever they're in the bubble. But Weapons of Light is probably really good for overall everything in PvE because it takes out bosses a lot faster, basically because your weapons get more damage. So Weapons of Light is probably the best one to run with for PvE. For the melee, I'd probably stick with Unbreakable. That's probably like the only thing I run with. Titan Codexes stay the same. Max armor, mid recovery, low agility. It's just my favorite thing to run for a character. You guys can run whatever you'd like, but I just think max armor is really important to run because you can survive the most hits you can take before dying. So that's really important. For the middle column here, I would probably run increases the duration of War to Dawn because I know in the Kingsfall raid during the Orcs fight, pop a bubble when taking out the ogres in the middle. There's two people in the middle of the area. Taking out the ogres for the people standing on the plates, it really helps with the bubble lasting longer with Weapons of Light and Blessings of Light with the Touch of Malice to take those ogres out faster. So I just think the duration of War to Dawn helps a lot in PvE because the longer it lasts, the longer the buff will last. Is obviously because Weapons of Light and Blessings of Light and Armor of Light will last longer when the bubble is up longer. So pretty straightforward there. And for the last column here, like I said, I'd probably run Illuminated or Untouchable is pretty good. You get a reduced cooldown, but with PvE you do get a lot of kills, unlike PvP because you know there's a bunch of thralls and all those strikes and stuff, so you get your bubble pretty fast. So I probably run Illuminated for PvE because you get increased benefits granted by Blessing of Light and Weapons of Light. So this is probably the best option to run with in the last column. So this will kind of wrap up my review / setup build for my Defender Titan for PvP and PvE. For PvE, this is basically what I run every time I play PvE. But for PvP, like I said, I'd probably run something like this. Something like this here. Yeah, I'd probably stick to this or something. But Suppressor Grenade, Magnetic, pretty good grenades. Probably the better two out of the three. But other than that, this is my review / setup build for the Defender Titan. What I recommend for PvP and PvP. If you guys got any good other builds that you'd like to share for a Defender Titan for PvP and PvE, be sure to put that down in the comment section down below. I'll check that out later. And if you guys enjoyed this review of the Defender Titan by me, if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later, back inside Destiny. Peace!